So today we're going to be talking about something that's a little bit on everybody's mind, which is time management. I just actually did a video in Boston for a time management class with David Allen. And David Allen wrote a book. I don't have it with me, but I think it's called Getting Things Done. It's an amazing book. I haven't read it, but I did go to the class. The class was amazing. It literally, I have a video about it, but in short, I actually have the workbook right here, and it is about mastering your workflow. It's an all-day class, and get me back in focus. Focus. Come on, you can do it. You could do it, camera. There we go. Nope, nope, still not. This is how professional it is. There we go. There we go. Anyway, so the David Allen book comes with a lot of material, system guides, mastering the workflow, and it's, like I said, an all-day event. And essentially, it goes over, if there's something that you can do under 2 minutes, then do it under 2 minutes. Answer an email. You get the email, answer it. Don't read it and then just leave it there or put it as unread. Listen, I'm guilty as charged on that. That's all I do. And by the way, if you hear anything, I have a little bit of a cold, so bear with me. But it's been waking up. It's been waking up too early and biking to the gym. But anyway, literally, David Allen talks about if it's under 2 minutes, you do it right now. And when you do something, do it fully. In other words, don't plan a trip without booking it. If you set aside the time, the half an hour, the hour, to book a trip, granted, if it's like a 10-stop trip, 10-leg trip, and you're traveling all across Europe, and then you're going down to Santorini, and then you're doing Mykonos and Rome, and listen, then he'll say, do half an hour and book each leg. Don't just do the research. If you do the research, then just say, that's all I'm doing. This 20 minutes, this 15 minutes, this half an hour, this hour is just research. And do it fully. Do it 100%. Don't just go in there and go on Facebook for a little bit, go on Instagram, go on YouTube, Google a couple of things, go on CNN. You go to TripAdvisor or whatever you use, cheap tickets, or I don't know. I just use TripAdvisor. And I'm not getting sponsored, obviously. That's what I use, and it's easy, and it's great. There's some really cool hotels on there, like the top 10 coolest hotels. There's one in, I think, the Netherlands or Sweden. Some Scandinavian country, Finland? I don't know. Where it's literally a glass dome in a igloo type of building. So it's like, I don't know, it's really cool. Anyway, I digress, just making sure we're still focused in. So you do it, and I'll get to my planning and why this wraps into it. So if it's under 2 minutes, you do it. If you say, I'm gonna book a trip, you book it. You don't just continue doing research. You book the trip, and you just say, you know what, that's it. And the reason being, this actually makes sense. They didn't actually bring it up, but it makes sense to me, is that I consider my time way more valuable than my money. My time, to me, is gold. You can't even put money into it. But if you do want to monetize your hour, what your hour is worth, you take your gross yearly income and you divide it by 2,000. So that would be your hourly wage. So if you make, say, $100,000, then your hourly wage is $50, I think. That should be it. That sounds good. Math was not my strong suit. People were. I love people. So if you say, and the reason you divide it by 2,000, because that's a 9-to-5 job, and then that just weekdays is 2,000 hours a year. That's how much you work. 9 to 5, just weekdays. And the reason you do that, especially if you're an entrepreneur or you're a manager or you're even a parent, and you're mowing a lawn and you're making a certain amount of money, and mowing a lawn takes, say, an hour, you say, can I pay the local teenager $50 to do it for me because my hour is more important to me. Granted, there's a lot of people that like mowing their lawn, but it's a waste of time if you have other things to do. Pay someone $40. So in other words, if you're worth $50, you make $100,000, you divide it by 2,000, that's $50 an hour. $50 an hour is here. If mowing the lawn costs you $40, then pay someone, because that means that that $10 can be utilized somewhere else. So I understand that you're actually exchanging your time, and the other one you're actually giving money out. I understand that. But when you boil it down to any part of your life, that's the way you do it. That's dropping off, for me, a board package at a building. Like I'm in real estate. When I finish a board package is something, for anyone outside New York City, is something that you need. A purchase application, it's very thick, it's 300 pages and 300, 400 pages in some circumstances, and you give it to the board, and the board has to review and everything else. Me actually, let alone compiling it and typing it up, that's a waste of my time. I need someone else to do that. I'm the rainmaker. I'm the leader. I'm the one that brings in business. So I divide my income divided by 2,000, and if it comes out to an amount, like putting together a board package, how is that bringing in business? How is me, like yesterday, I had to go to the post office, go to UPS, go to the United States Postal Office, I had to go to the UPS, and I had to deliver a board package. It probably cost me in total an hour. And I didn't want to do it, and it was raining. I didn't want to do that. I have no one helping me right now, so yes, I have to do it. I understand. But in my mind, I'm like, I need someone to do this for me. I need to pay someone to deliver all these things. I need to bring someone on, share my compensation, give them a stipend, something, an intern, whatever. They'll get to learn from me, which is a big deal. So you have to look at your time so much more valuable, and then more valuable than you are now, and then put it to a monetary cost. So today, I'm going to be filing some paper, or scanning some papers and filing it into my computer. That's no value to me. Yes, there's value in me doing it, but it's not worth my time. So I look at my time way more important. So Grant Cardone, I brought him up a couple of times. He has this thing called the 10X Planner. And I recommend it. I actually went down to see him in Riviera Maya. It was a good trip. I don't think it was worth the cost. And again, you equate the value you got out of it towards the money you spent. That's why we get buyer's remorse. That's why we don't feel that we may have gotten ripped off, is that the value we get from a product, a service, a person, an event. Say you went to a birthday party and it was $40 for an open bar. That's typical in New York City. And you pay, I don't really drink that much, but if I said I'm gonna spend $40 worth of alcohol, then I would buy it. But say the drinks weren't strong, I had to wait for the drinks, the atmosphere wasn't good, the birthday party wasn't good, I would walk away saying, actually it wasn't really worth my $40. So if you don't see the value after you've purchased, in other words, after you gave that $40 to get an open bar wristband, and you don't feel afterwards when it's done that you received the value, you get buyer's remorse. You feel like, nah, it wasn't worth it. But if there was no line, and you got all the drinks you could, and the bartenders were great, and the atmosphere was great, and the birthday party was great, and you walked out and you're like, that was awesome. That was the best birthday party I ever went to. I got all the drinks I wanted, there's no line, the music was fantastic. Whatever the case is, if you feel that you got your money's worth, you walk out and you're like, you know what, that was the best $40 I ever spent. You know? And this is literally how you price products, is what is it worth? A Louis Vuitton bag doesn't cost so much more than a regular store brand. It doesn't cost 10 times the amount. You know, what you buy it for is not the value, obviously, proportion to how much it costs. But the value to people holding it is. holding a Louis Vuitton, holding a Chanel bag, or girls, guys, whatever. And that's if you feel the value you're getting out of it. So for me, I look at it, your time, and I hope you start seeing this. I'll do another video on time versus money, because people say time is money, but they don't understand the concept. They just know it's a cliche saying. If you understand that your time is literally the most invaluable thing, every single person gets 24 hours in a day, what do you do with it? Do you snooze your alarm, which I did today? And I was kind of mad about it, and that's why I was kind of cranky walking out of bed. I'm like, oh, I did such a bad excuse. My alarm went off at 4:45, and then I said, oh, you feel a little bit sick, don't go to the gym. That's such a dumb excuse. Like, I'm not really sick, I just have a little sniffle. Tomorrow I'll be fine, but I use that as an excuse to snooze my alarm. So my time, so then I snooze the alarm, then I wake up a little bit later, then I get to the office a little bit later, then I'm backlogged in the things that I need to do. So this is the planner that I use. And today it's why you plan the night before. I just started doing this a week ago. Actually, yeah, it's about a week ago. It has been the most beneficial part of doing business or managing my time than I could ever imagine in my life. People have been preaching this, you know, very intelligent people. I never did it. I'm like, why would I plan, especially in real estate? I have no idea when the fire is gonna come, when that phone call, that attorney, that buyer, that seller, they need me right now. We need you now. I don't drop everything. So I plan usually, or at least I did that morning. I'm like, this is what I need to do. What a waste of time that is. For two reasons. One is you could be doing better things in the morning. Two, at the end of the day, when you write down all the things that you need to do the next day, subconsciously that gets logged in your brain, and throughout the day or throughout the night and through your sleep, you start thinking about it. So literally, when I wake up in the morning, I have an idea of what I need to do, but then I go to the gym and I'm thinking about it more, and then I come out and then when I shower, that's when my best ideas happen. I wish I have a dry erase board every time I take a shower. So you write down solutions because it's been in your brain just conjuring up ideas. Oh, actually, I should call this guy, and then when I call him, I'll write him a note afterwards and I'll thank him, and then when I call this other person, I'll ask him to dinner, and I think I'm free next Tuesday, so I'll take him out to lunch. And your brain starts just thinking of solutions, ideas. And you walk out and you're like fired up to go. And your planning is already done. You already did it the night before. So this is it. So on the left side, I have 6 to 9, 9 to 12, 12 to 3, 3 to 6. So I do it I look at my time in 15-minute increments, and this is really important because you could schedule breaks. Like today, I have a break at 11:30 to 11:45. I have a break. I can watch a YouTube video, I can go to the bathroom, I can walk around, I can bother other people, I could do push-ups. Doesn't matter, it's a break. It is a scheduled break that you feel good about because you did all the other things beforehand that led to that break. You're like, you know what? I had a great day so far. I deserve a 15-minute break. I'm not talking about half an hour, or go out and get coffee and then you come back lally-dallying. No, you know from 11:30 to 11:45, you have to be diligent with your time. If you want to be successful, the most successful people are diligent with their time. They know exactly what time they're doing everything, and if something more valuable comes along, boop, gets replaced. So the added bonus, number one, you schedule the night before. You know exactly what you're doing. Look at my day yesterday. It was a pretty busy all the way through. Whatever I didn't do, like there was things like business plan. I need to update my business plan. It wasn't as important as the things I was doing. And it's kind of one of those things that, yeah, you need a business plan, but the things that I handled instead, and it was a business plan. So I literally just brainstorm new things that I want to do. So one of them is write more cards and call more people. So any of my clients out there, get ready, it's going to be a barrage. So here we go, 7:15 to 8 o'clock, morning ritual. I talked about that in another video, what my morning ritual. 8 to 8:30, write cards to Ryan, Luis, and Frederick. So Ryan Serhant, Luis Ortiz, Frederick Eklund, those are top brokers in New York City, or yeah. And they're also on the show $1 Million Listing. So I wrote him a card saying, hey, how's it going? We obviously met a bunch of times. Just wanted to know if I can just pick your brain for about a half an hour. And obviously it's on me. And I know they're filming season 4 now. So I wrote the card, a nice little handwritten card. I actually included pictures that we took together and things like that. So they recognized me. And then I'm going to follow up with an email and keep on following up with an email. 2 reasons. One is I want to establish a better relationship instead of like, oh, I kind of recognize that guy. Like Ryan, he'll recognize me. Luis, he'll maybe recognize me. Frederick, he just, no. I've interacted a bunch of times, but he's not going to remember me. We've never done a deal together. But that's what I want to do, is take them out to lunch, pick their brain about hiring, managing, time management, their business, their systems, things like that. So you have to reach out to the top people in your industry, and I'll follow up with an email. 8:30 to 9, I have to write a check to someone. I have to burn DVDs into my computer so I can watch them at home. And these are DVDs that I purchased, so don't worry, government or whatever. And then manage a couple of things within, I use Google Drive. Google Drive, I should do a video on this. It's unbelievable. Google Drive, you can, wherever you are, it's like the greatest thing ever. Google Drive, you get 15 gigabytes free, I think. 15 gigabytes free. I get 30 because I use it for my mail. I use Google Business for my mail. I pay them a monthly stipend. And I use it for my mail, my calendars. It syncs through all of my devices. It contacts, email, calendar, and I have the Google Drive. And Google Drive, I highly recommend you get into. There's nothing on my computer saved. If someone stole my computer, whatever, that's cool. I have nothing on there. Literally, everything is in the Google Drive folder. Every document, every picture, anything that I want saved, all of my music, all of my videos, everything, I just uploaded it. So say get rid of that computer or phone or whatever, all I have to do is just get rid of the phone or just wipe out all the material, because the next computer I get, I just download the Google Drive folder and everything goes into it. All right, I'm digressing. So you want to get a planner. So there's Stephen Covey, there's a lot of other planners. So this one also has write your goals. So when you get in, you write your goals. Quote of the day, I don't actually use quote of the day. I think it's just a waste of time. Targets. So my targets, I have 5 things. This is from, I actually have here we go. Top 5 priority items for, let's get back in focus here. So this is from Jack Canfield, and Jack Canfield has something, come on, focus, camera, on that big Irish head. There, oh, I have a camera or a phone. Do I have to move in closer? Pick me up. There we go. All right. There we go, back in focus. I have a camera that has a live thing on it, which is great. So this is the 5 priorities. You can't really see it. You can't really, but whatever. Each day I have a priority, 5 priorities. If you do that each day, then you'll be successful. The top 5 things, the priority list that you need to be successful. Then successes, in other words, at the end of the day, I write down my successes. For my successes, plan the next day, did a majority of the items, so close to breaking out. In other words, I'm so close to just absolutely crushing real estate. I'm just so close. And you're going to be here for it. I'm going to be a lot, just invigorated and enthusiastic and everything else. I wrote down, once you're rolling, keep rolling. A success was I woke up when the alarm went off. And then I just started saying I went to the gym, I was there for 15 minutes longer than I wanted to. Used to live for blah, blah, blah. You know, other successes. So listen, you have to plan the day, your next day the night before. So the only reasons, not the only reasons, but the best reasons, one is it percolates in your mind as you go throughout the night after you've, so at 6:30, 7 o'clock, whenever I leave the office, I plan the next day and I say, and then it percolates in your mind throughout that night and into the next day, and you'll start getting solutions and ideas. And then when you come into the office the next day, boom, it's already planned. So today, I am meeting my parents for a walking tour. I know, it's hilarious, but you know, what are you gonna do? So, you know, 7 to 7:30 ritual. I had to pick up a picture frame, or at least order it, I'm sorry. And then from 8 to 10, this is a big part, is update my database. I got a coach with Buffini. Brian Buffini is a real estate coach, and I am going to be using one of their personal coaches, and they're going to be coaching me throughout the year. And I have to update my database. That's a 2-hour window. Then plan pitch package, and follow-up cards. In other words, I have to get better at my following up, calling to see how clients are doing, things like that. So you plan it out. And those are all big items, like updating my database. And the reason I update the database is because they get a mailing on the 1st, they get an email on the 15th, and they get a phone call on the 20th. So if I don't have it all planned out, then why do you have a database? Like, why do you have clients? How do you keep in touch? So plan the night before. It saves you time. It feels good. And plus, when you're done, you just get to cross things off. Like, called a client, planned a meeting, you know, it feels good checking it off. Like that day, look at yesterday. Yesterday, you know, it's all crossed off. All crossed off. It feels great, to be honest. So anyway, follow me on Instagram. I do a video every single day and every single weekday. It's a Friday here in New York City. I think it's the 26th of September. I'm moving to a new apartment on October 1st, which is really cool, really excited about it. And I'll speak to you guys on Monday. Hope you guys have a great weekend. And if you have any questions, obviously ask me, and follow me on Instagram. That's my favorite social media.